ask you, like I want to take a moment, see if we can kind of talk about the session some, because you can't, obviously you can't do that with most clients.
Yeah.
But so you could, it could be about me, things I did or didn't do. It also could be just like kind of some of what that was like for you.
I think it was, for me, it was kind of, I think I could feel the cameras. I think that was a challenge, but I think that I was able to be aware of it. And I think sometimes I kind of felt myself like having to pull myself back down out of like the cameras are on.
Yeah.
That kind of feeling, but
It's distracting.
yeah, and yeah, I didn't have like a conscious thought about it. I could just feel I guess
background there.
yeah, I could just feel myself changing, I guess, because of it. I felt like that. I mean, I guess having the training of being on the other side of this, and part of, I felt like that at times I'd be thinking, oh, I'm talking too much and I want to be able to give Dr. Gardner a chance to respond. And,
Yeah.
But what was really great about that is that even when I had that thought, I would look at you and I didn't ever feel like you were trying to jump in, and so I felt like I could just keep going. And I think that was really helpful for me because there were times where I was having that almost like feeling like I want to stop point, and then usually what happened right after that is something, an awareness that I didn't have kind of popped up.
Right.
So it was, I don't know, it's helpful for me to see that model because I think sometimes I can feel those. Maybe clients do that, and then I don't know, maybe too quick to jump in.
Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, for me, and to comment on that a little bit, I mean, there were times where I was a little torn because I was like, I think this part that he just said was quite important to him. And then I'm doing a little check with myself. It's like, important to him, important to you. But while all that was going on in the background of my mind, I don't think I lost, focus much. I think for a counselor, you have to have those little conversations with yourself. They're really in like a split second.
Yeah.
It takes a lot longer to say it than just
right.
But then I would kind of go, but either way, wait, because there's something that he's working hard to get to. So wait. And then when there did seem like more reasonable times to interrupt, or just to say, to be the speaker for a minute, I would wouldn't necessarily respond to the last thing you said. Maybe I'd go back to that thing you said before that I thought was important to you or me one.
Yeah.
So that's a part of like how I coach myself to wait. One is, there's somewhere he's trying to go. So the question is, if I interject, does it help him get to where he wants to go, or does it get in the way? And then the other thing is, well, I can wait and see where he goes, and then if I still think the other thing was more important, then just respond to that when there's a moment,
It's yeah, that was helpful because I really appreciated the fact that you noted those things, so you weren't just kind of going through an exercise, and it was like, and it didn't ever feel that way, but I feel like sometimes that it could become an exercise where it's just respond to the last thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that made me feel important because I felt that you were genuinely concerned about those parts that I guess in some ways stuck with you, regardless of whether it was important to me or you. And that made me feel really heard and valued, I think, because you took the time to check back. So that was, I appreciated that and seeing how that can have a lot of value. Because I think that sometimes I'm kind of like, I would feel awkward to maybe go back. So, but being on the other side of it, I see how I think it really helpful it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel awkward to go back. But I mean, I've had more experience with this than you have. I just sort of think, I just try to think. What's probably the most important, most helpful thing I can do, and if that's going back, I go back, and if I was wrong to go back, you'll at least look at me funny. Why are you? Why are we right there? I'm here. And then I'll just go there then, Jeff. Well, let me stop.